Welcome to this preview for Windows on the World, which is every Sunday night, 9:30 p.m. on the live shows page at windowsontheworld.net. And the last two shows have been quite short. We've just been going into how not to get energy harvested. Tonight, we're going to follow that on with the time wasters. Yes, energy harvesting is the main currency in all media now. Well, do you remember once upon a time there were groups of dedicated journalists, and this gave rise to a thriving alternative media? Over time, this has been watered down, commercialized, marginalized, and is now, on the whole, a bit of a waste of time. Because basically, it just becomes an echo chamber with no solutions. Our show, The Solution, a while ago was a follow on from our series, The Protocols of Power. And if you haven't had a look at that, do take a look at windowsontheworld.net. It's on the homepage, and it's a whole series of shows about how the power structure actually works. So, in other words, once you know how something works, you can then have the solution. We've talked about the collectivization of everything. Every week, I am given new examples of organizations which are trying to capture the public into the communitarian steering mind gulags which go nowhere. It doesn't matter whether this is some local initiative, it could be even something to do with growing your own vegetables. Most of these template sites are all the same. They are there to monitor, surveil, and make sure that people do not actually achieve any form of sovereignty. And sovereignty is the word we're going to be talking about in this show tonight. How the gullible are being steered. Yes, the fake common law crowd have become comedy, but it's a comedy with a tragedy, and that tragedy is going to be played out because there are going to be lots of house repossessions. There is going to be a lot of debt and a lot of bankruptcy. We're going to talk about that in this particular show because, of course, now we have private insolvency practitioners. We even have an insolvency steering group from the government, which is, of course, inclusive and diverse. So, yes, this show will actually point out some of the charlatans who are currently doing the rounds and getting people into a lot of trouble. Yes, people are actually going to be facing a bit of jail time if they follow these idiots. And what gets me about it is that a lot of these people are in their 40s and 50s. How did they get to be 10 years old? How did they survive this far? Well, because so far we are in a slightly artificial womb. And the gloves are coming off. It have been for quite some time. Of course, we've had COVID. We've got many drivers of change. And the financial terrorism, which is ongoing, is what we're going to be referring to, and how people are actually making money out of the gullible and how to avoid it. Well, you know how to avoid it if you listen to this show. And we're going to be talking about the mistakes that are being made by those who think they have a little knowledge when in fact they have none. So do join us, and every Sunday 9:30 p.m. we also are on the Odyssey channel. So do subscribe to us on Odyssey. I haven't uploaded some of the recent shows to Odyssey, but they are all on the live shows page at windowsontheworld.net, and we will be doing some more live shows during the week. I am actually doing this show off grid and have been for quite some time, so I'm keeping these recent shows fairly short. And what I'm doing is really giving as much information as I can in the shortest time possible. So thank you very much, everybody who does listen. And I may even do a sort of chat during the week to get some ideas on what people would like the shows to cover, because from my point of view, and in my opinion, we've covered pretty much everything about how the system works. I don't think we could go into any more of it, but there are lots of other issues within that we can talk about. And if people want to maybe suggest things which need clarifying, then I will try to do that, because over the years, I have covered pretty much everything, and we are in a template. We've got to remember that. This is merely a template that is repeating and repeating over and over again, and the gullible gets steered to go round in circles. This has been one of the main sort of issues that we have really concentrated on, this steering of the public through communitarianism. And it doesn't matter if it's your fake common law group or it's a new age arrested development group. These groups are running through the system and they are part of this new system of governance. In other words, it's the system of moods. There has to be something for everybody, and most people are steered either into one of these two categories at the moment. And of course, this stuff has been going on for years. We've covered the whole background of where this came from. And it's quite nightmarish, actually, when you see how people have been dumbed down. It's shocking because even 10 years ago, I don't think things were at this level of stupidity. And what is incredible is that people seem to be getting more stupid when in fact they should be getting more clever. There's even a website now that's trying to take on the debunking of the World Economic Forum and things like that. These are complete waste of time. I get sent these things all the time. And they are, of course, trying to get you into groups to waste your time to talk about something which is not that important, because anything that's public facing is there for the public to see. And if you're not attacking things locally, then you're missing the point. This is global to local. Those people in Switzerland, those people at Davos, you can't actually do that much about them from where you are at the moment. But what you can do is you can form proper groups. Now, this is a point I wanted to bring up. The actual people who are doing anything important you will not know about. All of the alternative media ignore everything of importance because they concentrate on trivia. Unfortunately, this is a sad fact. And they are not interested in the real solutions because the real solutions are quite simple. Do take a look at the show we did recently. You can find that on our Odyssey channel. And it was all about how this new system is imposed and what to do about it locally. We do have solutions on this show. That's why I keep doing this, because it's a kind of game that's being played out. And we've talked about the drivers, and the real engagement will bring satisfaction and victories and even some fun, because what we have to remember is the other side are using Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals and have been for many years. This is not an even playing field. So all those people who think that they can enforce some kind of law system, which is now antiquated, into this new system are gullible and naive, to say the least, because the whole legal system has changed irrevocably in the last 15 years. How do I know this? Because of my engagement with it, from the lower courts, from the county court to magistrates, even to Crown Court. Yes, I have seen the way that the new Noahide system is being introduced, which basically means that there's a separate law system. If you don't fit into it and you're deemed to be outside it, and for some reason, and there are several reasons which we've gone into in our shows, then you will be discriminated against. And all these people who are gullibly falling into traps and basically doing stupid things that will not get them anywhere are asking for a lot of trouble. And we've actually gone into that in tonight's show. So listen to that. It's funny and it's tragic at the same time. So yeah, thanks everybody who does send in emails. You can join our Discord group if you like. And that is pretty good because we don't get many distractions in there. If there's a distraction, it quickly gets sorted out. So this is the age of constant distraction, and our shows are an antidote to that. So do have a look in the archive and you will find a lot in there, because everything that's happening now has been happening for quite a long time, and no one out there seems to want to really address the solutions. And that's why this show is here, because there has to be some satisfaction in life after all. So do join us, this Sunday and every Sunday, 9:30 p.m. UK time at windowsontheworld.net. When I am able, I will be back with some more live broadcasts. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy the show that is in there from tonight. That's Sunday and every Sunday, of course. And do check out the archive. Also, if you like history, download our film, The Heretics of London, The Smithfield Martyrs. It's only $6 and it's available at windowsontheworld.net. If you would like to support the show, please do, because this show does need a bit of support. It's marginalized by just about everything out there, including, of course, what is known as the alternative media, which is now merely, in my opinion and in my experience and in the experience of the people who listen to this show, merely an echo chamber and energy harvesting waste of time. There are still some good journalists out there, however, but they are, of course, marginalized too. So do join us. I'm just going to have a quick look at these comments before I get off here. Yeah, this is a good one. Bonds put, hi, Mark. I understand what you're saying regarding getting into smaller groups, but how do you meet like minded people? Well, that is something that you have to do, and it can't be done in these collectivized organizations because everything is steered. I have seen these people come and go all the time. All of the protest groups are steered. Everything that is big in the eyes of the public or advertised is steered. We are in a communitarian system. You have to work outside that system. You can be an individual working with people, and that is not collectivized. So collectivism is the opposite. It's something from above being imposed on you, but is made to look like it's coming from grassroots. Whenever you see the word grassroots, run a mile. That is one of the buzzwords, a bit like diverse, inclusive, and sustainable. So, yeah, the idea is just work in small cells. I've always said that, work in small cells and don't tell too many people what you're doing. You can have some victories, and all of it is local. These people in your local council are liable. I'm not talking about serving affidavits on and stuff like that and common law Malcolm things. I'm talking about getting them under their own system. And that's what we talked about in these recent shows. So do listen to those, the live streams that we've done, because they are all about the system which is in place at the moment. And this system is not new. We're talking about a communist system that's being updated. So I hope you find it useful. The only reason I'm here is to give out useful information. A lot of the time, I'm not that bothered about broadcasting. I do, however, love information and learning, which is why I share this lifelong learning project with the public. So, hi, Sean. Yeah, your comments are always good. And it's great to see that there are people with functioning minds out there. And those people need to actually stick together. So, yeah, you can join our Discord group. But main thing is get your small groups locally because you'll probably need them and stay out of these collectivized groups. The change agents are literally infiltrating and they are everywhere. This has been going on for years. This is why I keep talking about it because it's the thing that no one talks about. The whole of everything is an infiltration program. That's how this new system works, by infiltration. So unless you're aware of that, you're just going to be basically a stake on the table by consent. And of course, everything is covered. It's called the system of moods. So, yeah, do have a listen. I understand anything else. I appreciate the information you share. Often go back to old shows and refresh my mind. All good stuff, says Rob. That's the idea, Rob. It was set up as a library. It's not a weekly show where I come on and waffle. I may waffle slightly on these previews, but I certainly don't waffle on the shows. So the point is that everything in those shows, especially from the Protocols of Power onwards, every single word has been thought about. Economy of language. It is the opposite of energy harvesting and time wasting. Most of what people are listening to on the internet is an absolute and utter waste of their time. It is not giving them knowledge. It is not giving them solutions. So if there's no knowledge and no solution, there is no point. And I think this sort of efficiency of thinking is what is missing in the post-truth, post-fact world. Yeah, thanks everybody anyway, and do support the show. Check out the full archive at windowsontheworld.net. And yes, more shows will be uploaded soon. I will upload the recent shows to Odyssey. In the meantime, they are all on the live shows page at windowsontheworld.net. Anything that's not on Odyssey is on the live show page on the website, and all the links you need are there. So until next time, thanks a lot, everybody, and thanks for the interaction. These previews are not kind of regular in the respect that there are different times, and basically they are a little bit sporadic at the moment. So hope you enjoy the show tonight. Love to get No, I don't really talk to any of them, Pat, because there's very few people out there who I deem to be of any use whatsoever. In fact, the names that people mention sometimes are just wafflers to me. They have no depth of knowledge, they have no solutions, no insight, and no wisdom. I'll just leave it at that. And yes, see you all soon on Windows on the World. Thanks a lot, everybody.